What's up, everyone? This is the Tin Man with the Worldwide Resistance Network. If you are watching this, you are the resistance. And welcome to Tin Man TV. Yes, everybody, this is Tin Man TV. I, of course, am your host, Chris Sheldon, the Tin Man with the Worldwide Resistance Network, the White Rabbit taking you down the goddamn rabbit hole each and every week at this time. So, as always, welcome to the Worldwide Resistance Network, Tin Man TV, where you are part of the conversation. Why is that? Because unlike things like Nut Monster Blue, Nut Monster Blue, in case you don't know, this is our fictitious product because we are not sponsored by APAC or any corporate sponsors. We are of the people, by the people, for the people. As of such, we try to make these podcasts deliberately tailored to you and include you in the conversation, where most political podcasts, radio shows will put out a hotline number and you can call in and they'll only have a small number of callers. We don't play that shit. You are as much a part of this as anybody else. So instead of throwing out hotline numbers, we make you a part of the conversation from the beginning of the show to the end of the show. So if you have any thoughts, opinions, information you'd like to share them in the comments. Become a part of the conversation and keep the ball rolling. Because again, this is a podcast and a network that is of the people, by the people, for the people. So again, participate in the conversation. Comments are enabled, and as always, follow us on our various social medias: X, YouTube, Rumble, now also Facebook, all at REALTWWRN. Also, look up YouTube's algorithm by hitting that like and subscribe button and hitting that notification bell to be notified anytime we go live. And as always, feel free to check out our online store. Tons of great merch there. Revving went out and bought a whole mess of shirts the other day. He got his in yesterday. They look absolutely amazing. So check that out and feel free to go and pick up yours as well. Most of our merch is on sale at the very low prices. And even at that, everything we've got is going to be anything else you see on the market. I guarantee you. In terms of price and quality, I guarantee you. We've got the best quality at the lowest prices. So again, check out the online store, all REALTWWRN. The links are all in the description of this video. And with that, let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of this monster. And I say monster very loosely, because all last night, I was trying to figure out what it was that I was going to talk about today on Tin Man TV. What topics are going to be relevant? Because we've already covered the Israel thing multiple times. We've covered the Iran strike. I mean, we try to cover as many angles as we possibly can. And at what point you got to take a step back and go, okay, what can we talk about? What angle haven't we talked about? What tidbit of information is out there that should be out there that we haven't covered yet? So I'm up till about 2:30 in the morning just racking my brain trying to figure this out. And I was completely stumped. So I just went to bed and I'm like, okay, let's just see what the morning brings. So I get up this morning and care to take a guess at what I saw? I jump on my phone and I see this shit. Maga is Trump. President fires back at right-wing mutiny over Iran. As President Donald Trump directs military strikes on Iran, he's also fighting online attacks at home from some of the loudest voices in his MAGA political movement. This is Israel's war. This is not the United States war. Former Fox News host Tucker Carlson said Tuesday on his weekly political podcast, no one should have to die for a foreign country. Yes, Tucker Carlson did in fact say this. Megyn Kelly, another former Fox News host with a massive online following, said on her podcast Monday, Daily Wire podcaster Matt Walsh beseeched fellow conservatives on Monday to stop supporting Trump's military campaign, so on and so forth. They just shut down a little too far here. MAGA critics of Trump's new military conflict say they're struggling to reconcile with his America First principles and long record of criticizing costly and protracted American military interventions. The president has said operations against Iran could go on for 4 or 5 weeks or longer. I think to them, it feels legitimately like a betrayal on the fundamental tenet of Trumpism, said Matthew Dallek, a professor at George Washington University Graduate School of Political Management. Trump has dismissed the idea that his critics could speak for the Make America Great movement. MAGA is Trump, he said in an interview with independent journalist Rachel Bade on Monday. I'm going to get into that in a minute. Online infighting is common in political movements, but Dallek said the degree of open dissent among conservatives over Iran suggests it could be a breaking point for some of Trump's most influential supporters. Carlson, Kelly, and Walsh together list more than 13 million subscribers between them on YouTube, with millions more on X and other platforms. Trump claimed that he alone spoke for MAGA after Bade asked him about the rebellion in the ranks of his supporters, according to... I can't even carry on like that. You know, this is what he does. This is what he fucking does, and pisses me off. And what people need to understand, and what Trump needs to understand, is that, yeah, he may have coined the phrase MAGA, Make America Great Again, but the idea and the principles of MAGA, he doesn't speak for the ideology. You could name it whatever the hell you want. Okay? Joe's called it the Great Awakening. He's been calling it that for decades. He wrote a goddamn book on it. Okay? He's been preaching about this shit since he got on air 35 years ago. Okay? I've been preaching about it. These ideals have existed long before Trump ever considered a presidential run. In fact, I think the first, quote, MAGA candidate that we had, in my recollection, was Ron Paul. Right? Everybody on the conservative movement was pushing for Ron Paul to become president of the United States. Based solely on these same ideas that MAGA is said to represent. Yeah, you can call it whatever the hell you want, Trump. You can call it Trumpism. You can call it MAGA. You can call it Orange Man's Tiny Hands movement. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. But the principles and the ideas are not yours, Trump. You just rode the fucking bandwagon. You rode the wave. Yeah, you wrote MAGA on your surfboard, but you rode the wave of these ideas and these principles. You didn't come up with that. Okay, these things existed long before you ever considered a presidential run, buddy. And now you've got not only all these detractors that were mentioned on Yahoo News, like Tucker Carlson, even Jones is fucking pissed at you. Jones himself is fucking pissed at you. Nick Fuentes, a highly influential podcaster who has been very outspoken on this matter, very intelligent young man. Don't get a chance to listen to him too much. I mainly focus on Jones because of his track record. Plus, how the hell am I going to sit there and listen to each and every one of these podcasters? I'd never have any fucking downtime. I'd never have time to do my own shit. Okay, between Jones, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, Andrew Tate, Candace Owens, so on and so forth, there's not enough time in the day to listen to all these people. Okay, yeah, I'll pick up tidbits here and there. I'll listen to Jones and I'll pick up tidbits from everybody else as we go along. But Nick Fuentes has been very outspoken since this whole thing started and has gone on to Jones's show yesterday, which I paid very close attention to this interview. And he has stated that Maga should vote Democrat in the midterm elections because it would send a clear message to Republicans and to Trump to stop dicking people around that the people have the power and will use their power. Now, Nick's a very smart young man. I will give him that. But I can't say that I wholeheartedly disagree with his consent, with his consensus. I can't say that I wholeheartedly agree with him in terms of voting Democrat. I mean, that's like going after a fly with a bazooka at this point. I mean, I get the logic here. I do get the logic. You know, we have to exercise our power in a way that sends a clear and concise message to these people that say, hey, you're a government by the people, of the people, for the people. You're going to do what we say. We're the boss. And if you don't, then we're going to exercise our power and you're not going to be in power. Because this is where the disconnect has occurred. Our elected officials forget that they are public servants, not leaders. They are not leaders. They are public servants, and they seem to have forgotten this. Donald Trump seems to have forgotten that he was elected, and he can be impeached and even removed from office, even without legitimate reasons, as we've seen in the past. He could be removed. But he just doesn't seem to get it. And again, I get Nick's thinking in this, but as much as I would say I respect Nick and his intelligence, I think this declaration and this idea is a bit short-sighted, because it's a power vacuum. And the biggest caveat that we have here is globalist loyalty, which seems to be the majority of Democrats. Now, granted, there are their fair share of Republicans as well. And many would argue the term the lesser of two evils. But I think putting these people back in power might not necessarily be the best move. Maybe pushing for newer, younger blood in the Republican Party maybe would be a better option. It's like, okay, we're not voting for these assholes. We want some young, fresh blood, some real Americans in Congress and the Senate that we can trust to do the job, not these dinosaurs and rhinos that have been fucking us off for the past 30, 40 years. So I think that might be a more lucrative option in terms of what needs to be done, rather than voting for putting the political opposition back in power. Because yeah, they're going to oppose Trump, but they're going to do it in a way to where nothing gets done, and the Great Awakening movement, regardless of what you choose to call it, will go from being slow-rolled to just a complete dead stop. And at which point everything kind of just goes to shit. So I can't say that I agree with Nick Fuentes wholeheartedly. I get where he's coming from, and I can agree with his sentiment in terms of we need to flex our power on these people. But I can't say that I would agree that this is the way to do it. But to Trump, I would have to say that this needs to be a clear sign, despite how much you run your fucking mouth, that you're on thin ice. Okay? And running your mouth to your base and saying that you're MAGA, they're not MAGA, and trying to fucking flex on people. Okay, you got to think about who your base is. Okay, the American people aren't just passive little bitches. Okay, which is why you got elected in the first place. Okay, because these people have had enough of the bullshit, which is why Trump got elected in the first place. So they're not going to take your shit, Trump. These are the kind of people that if somebody walked up to them and said the kind of shit that you're saying to your base, if somebody said that to them to their face on the street, these are the kind of people that would lay a motherfucker out if somebody got up in their face and was talking shit the way you're talking shit. Okay? These people don't play fuck around. Okay? And so far, the American people have been very, very restrained, especially your base. I live in the South. I live in highly conservative areas. These people aren't happy. Okay? I went out yesterday. This past weekend, gas was $2.39. I went out yesterday. Gas was $2.89. Okay, it is right back up where it was when Trump first took office this past term. You think the American people are going to be happy with that? You think the American people consider that to be America first? Yeah, we get the mullahs are bad. You don't want terrorists and bad people having nuclear weapons. I get it. Okay, I don't think anybody disagrees with that point. Okay, but this whole notion of, we had to attack Iran because Israel was going to attack them, and because we're financing Israel and giving them money and weapons because we're their bitch, then Iran's going to attack us. Okay? Well, instead of attacking Iran, how about this solution? Stop being Israel's bitch. Okay? Seriously, they need to just make a meme about it. America, Israel's doormat. Okay? Like, seriously. That's what we are. We are giving them endless money, endless resources, endless military aid. You pull all that? What reason does Iran have to come fuck with us? If Israel goes and bombs Iran on their own, and we had nothing to do with it. We're not sending them money. We're not financing their wars with money or military aid. What's that got to do with us? Okay? They ain't got no reason to attack us if we're not facilitating their enemies. Okay? And I guarantee you, if you stopped giving Israel money and stopped giving them military aid, they'd sit down and shut up. Okay? Because that's exactly what the fuck this is. It's the little, I've said it a million fucking times, it's the little dog that hides behind the big dog. We've all seen the fucking cartoon where the little dog's running around talking shit because he's got the big dog in his corner. Okay, if the big dog left the little dog on its own, I guarantee you the little dog would stop talking shit. Okay, the little dog would stop running his mouth. The little dog would stop trying to fucking blow up other people's countries. Okay? Let them stand on their own 2 feet. If they want to if Israel wants to fucking go to war with the Middle East, try to conquer the Middle East, let them do it on their own. They say that they're better than everybody else, that they hate America, that the rest of the world are goyim, the equivalent of cattle. They're so big and bad. Let them fight on their own. Let them do it without our money and without our military resources. Okay? But instead, we sit there and continue to play this game with Israel because of a passage in the book of Genesis out of the Bible that was misquoted. And that's a whole other can of worms in and of itself. Again, if anybody has any thoughts or opinions on that matter, feel free to share them in the comments. Comments are open. Please be a part of the conversation. We got a lot of people tuning in right now. Welcome, everybody. This is the Worldwide Resistance Network, TINMAN TV. I, of course, am your host, the Tin Man, and today's topic is Trump has pretty much gotten played by Israel. So if you have any thoughts, opinions, information, please, by all means, join in the conversation. Comments are open, and let's have an interesting discussion. But getting back to my point at hand, we're sitting there doing this because of a passage in Genesis that was misquoted because we got to bless the seed of Abraham. Now, you could say that it's not misquoted and whatnot, but here's the thing. Yes, it can say, bless the seed of Abraham, and you can choose to interpret it as it means we got to bless Israel. But does that mean we have to give them billions of dollars in financial aid? Does that mean we have to support them with our military and their occupational endeavors and their quest to conquer the Middle East? Does it mean we have to let them infiltrate our financial institutions, our government, and have control over these assets like the Federal Reserve and the United States government by way of spying on us, infiltrating us, and blackmailing us? Okay, you look at everything that happened with the Epstein files and what we know based on the 3 million files that came out. Okay, we know that Israel and Mossad have infiltrated the government and our financial institutions. We know that they run the Federal Reserve. We know that they set up the United Nations by way of the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and all that. Big money. And I forget who it was that was the biggest one, whether it was Rockefeller or Rothschild. I'm thinking it was Rockefeller. Okay, if anybody knows offhand which one it was, go ahead and leave that in the comments. I'm thinking Rockefeller. I know the answer. I just, for some reason, I'm wanting to say Rothschilds, but I'm thinking it's the Rockefellers. But yeah. And JP Morgan is the one that bailed Trump out of all of his financial debts and his bankruptcies. So he's indebted to JP Morgan and the Rothschilds at this point because they bailed him out. And it's like the old mob boss thing. Okay, I'm going to do this favor for you. But understand, you own me. If I do this for you, you are going to own me. And one day I am going to call on you to do a favor for me, okay, Trump? And if you don't do it, it's going to be a very bad day for you. You know, the whole Godfather thing. And that's kind of how it is. Okay? So, yeah, we're going to do this for you, but you're going to do something for us down the line. We'll bail you out of your bankruptcy, but yeah, you're going to do this. Okay? Trump's sitting there trying to flex like he's some fucking big badass. No, dude. You are Israel's bitch. You are JP Morgan's bitch. You are the Rothschild's bitch. You are Jeffrey Epstein's bitch. Okay? You ain't Maga, bro. Okay? You are make the globalists great again because the globalists were already on their way out. The people were already waking up. They were already done with this shit, which is why you got elected because the American people thought you were the guy to freaking drain the swamp. And here you are skinny dipping in it. With the likes of BB shit and Yoo-Hoo, Bill Gates, and Zelensky. Like, seriously, bro. Say you're America first and that this is going to make America first? Okay, well, what about the terrorist sleeper cells in the United States? Nothing has, that issue has not been addressed at all. And now you're going to war with Iran on behalf of Israel. The same Israel that danced on 9/11. Yeah, the Jews danced on 9/11. Were an intimate part of the 9/11 attack by way of their Operation for a New American Century, all of that. Look it up. They lied to us about Iraq's WMDs with their superior intelligence operations and methods. And it pretty much been spying on us, blackmailing us, and infiltrating us for the past 100 years. And it's just been getting progressively worse. Why the hell are we supporting these people? Because of Genesis? If it were any other country pulling this shit, we'd tell these people to go to hell. And we'd probably bomb the shit out of them. But yeah, we're kissing these people's ass. We're giving them money. We're fighting wars on their behalf because Benjamin Netanyahu, a war criminal, doesn't want to give up power because he doesn't want to face criminal prosecution for his war crimes. Okay, if you want to support, and to the American people and the Christian community who are supporting Israel because of the whole Genesis thing, consider this. Benjamin Netanyahu has some of the lowest approval ratings in history. His people hate him. The Jewish people hate him. If you want to say that you have to support the Jews, that's fine. Support the people. Support the Jewish people who are saying, hey, this guy's a fucking psychopath. We want him out. We hate him. We want him gone. He's making shit hard for us. Okay, support the Jewish people who are saying Zionism is bad. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, JP Morgan, BB shit Yoo-Hoo. This globalist totalitarian system that they're trying to set up is bad. We don't want it. Okay, support those Jews. Okay, you look in the Old Testament where one guy was caught in idolatry. The Israelites had just taken possession of the promised land after their 40-year exodus in the desert. They took control of Israel. And God says, I'm going to whoop all you guys' ass. And the Israelites were like, whoa, God, what did we do? What did we do? We didn't do nothing. What did we do? And God goes, this guy over here is practicing idolatry. He's got idols in his house. And they went to this guy and said, hey, what the fuck you doing, man? God's going to whoop all our asses if you don't knock this shit off. Okay, they went gung-ho after him. Okay, they weren't fucking playing. Okay, one guy was going to fuck it up for the entire 12 tribes of Israel. One guy was going to fuck it up for everybody. He's like, hey, we're not getting our shit fucked up for you, dude. They went after his ass. Read it. Read the Old Testament. Okay? And so it is today. You have the majority of the Jewish people saying, these people, the Rothschilds, J.P. Morgan, Benjamin Netanyahu, they're bad people. We don't like them. You want to support Israel? Support the people. Support the Jewish people who are saying, these people are bad. They're fucking it up for us. We're going to have another goddamn Holocaust because of these assholes. Which is why we had a Holocaust in the fucking first place, was because of these same assholes. Rothschild and J.P. Morgan. All these same people pushing the woke culture. And we sit there and say we're doing America first by fighting the terrorists. Okay, that sounds like some George Bush shit, man. But yet we're not fighting the terrorist cells that have been planted here in the United States. You're not doing any. There have been no arrests of these Democrats who opened the borders. Nothing on the fraud. No arrests based on the Epstein stuff. You talk about you were going to drain the swamp. The swamp's overflowing. What the hell's going on here? Republicans and Democrats corrupt. Okay, half your goddamn administration's feeding this guy corrupt information, we found out. Okay, Trump's thoroughly convinced that Iran has tried to fucking assassinate him when they didn't. Okay, this guy's spit that fucking bullshit, and he's running around trying to flex like he's some fucking top dog when he's just being fucking manipulated. Yeah, Trump got fucking played by Israel and the people in his own fucking administration. And instead of being the Trump that we thought we were going to get, which which would probably been more reminiscent to the Trump of The Apprentice, the whole "you're fired," no fucking games, no bullshit. We got a guy who's just pretty much talking shit on everybody while getting fucked in the ass by outside influences and within his own administration. Does nothing. Spam Bundy ain't been fucking fired. Todd Blanche ain't been fucking fired. The entire fucking world is saying, hey, Israel's a fucking problem. You need to distance yourself from these guys. They're fucking you over. They're fucking up the whole America, Make America Great movement. You say you want to make America great? These people are deliberately working in opposition to that agenda. Yet Trump's clinging to these people. Why? Because they got him by the fucking balls. Bibi Netanyahu says, I'm going to go shoot these motherfuckers in the middle of the fucking day. And you're going to fucking follow me in. Squeaky, squeaky. And Trump's going, okay, just don't squeeze hard. Just don't squeeze hard. Okay, I'll say nice. Don't squeeze my tiny little balls. Seriously, Trump, act like a fucking man. Okay? Get these people off fucking balls and push back. Okay, you sitting there trying to push back against Maga. Dude, we're on the same fucking side. We're supposed to be on the same side here. Okay? You knew what Maga was. You knew what these people stood for. You know you're deviating from that. And you're going to get mad because these people are holding your feet to the fire and are at the point where it's like, okay, this guy clearly ain't fucking listening to us. You're going to get mad at them instead of the people that are fucking you over? Okay? Todd Blanche has literally fucked off everything but Mar-a-Lago. And you love it. Span Bundy has fucked up so bad that you're cussing her out in public. But yet you don't fire her. You said in response to Israel and Iran that these people are fucking lunatics. But yet you're giving Israel money and military aid instead of just taking a step back and going, okay, you guys are on your own. Figure your own shit out. Okay, I get it. You don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. You don't want them to have these long-range capabilities. I get it. Okay? Nobody would really argue that. But do you honestly think if you just got forced Israel to sit down and shut up, that there would still be a problem? No. If you pulled back, if you pulled the money, if you pulled the military resources, and you said, we're not playing this game, we're not financing this shit, we're not giving you military aid, we're not giving you weapons or technology, you're on your own. You think these people you think Benjamin Netanyahu's gonna fucking sit there and continue to try to flex? No. No. They'd be stupid to do it. And the only reason they have a nuclear capability is because you don't hold them to the nuclear accords that were set up, and you continue to give them money and military resources to build this shit. Okay, you think if we had stopped doing this shit 30 years ago, you think we'd be at this point now? Iran, Iraq, all the Middle East? You think there'd be any fucking problems? No, everybody would be minding their own fucking business, doing their own fucking thing. But because Israel wants to fucking flex, and we're Israel's sugar daddy, we have a fucking problem. Which is why Israel danced on 9/11. Which is why the Jews danced on 9/11. Because it was all part of Project for the New American Century. It was to force us to fight their wars for us. And yet they want to pretend they're the fucking superior fucking force. They wouldn't be shit without us. And they know it. Pull back. Dude, you want to end the conflicts in the Middle East? Stop supporting Israel. Just pull back. Say, look, dude, you're out of our government. You're out of our fucking finances. We're not giving you any money. We're not giving you any military resources. You're going to sit down and you're going to shut up, or we're done with you. We're not even going to do trade deals with you. Okay? Hell, Israel can't survive without us. Okay? If we were not Israel's sugar daddy, the country would collapse. Okay? They wouldn't be able to maintain their military surplus and their nuclear weapons program because they wouldn't have the money to maintain it. They wouldn't have the military capabilities to maintain it. We're the ones financing all this shit. We're the ones providing all of it. Okay, if we pull back, they've got nothing. And yeah, they probably would go and push and execute the Samson option. They probably would. And I can get, maybe that's why we're doing what we're doing, to prevent them from doing the Samson option. But here's the thing. Why are we not eliminating the Samson option? Why are we not going into Israel and saying, okay, we'll help you, but you're going to dismantle your little nuclear program. You are going to give us every fucking nuke you have. You are going to shut down and destroy each and every one of your nuclear testing sites and facilities. or we're going to take it. At which point, what are they going to fucking do? You've already got military over there. Just go in and say, give me. We're done playing your game. Okay? Somebody got a gun to your head, fucking take the gun out of their hand. Yeah, it's risky. But you know what? It's better than having the gun at your head. I mean, at least if you fight back, you got a chance of survival. Whereas if you just continue to walk the long mile to the electric chair, I mean, at least if you fight back, you got a chance. Isn't that what a lot of people say regarding World War II? Well, if they just stood up and fought back, they could have survived. Yeah, some people would have died, but most everybody would have escaped and would have overpowered the Nazis. And same thing here. Okay, go in. Take control of their nuclear weapons program. We're already over there in Iran. Just go next door to Israel and say, hey, give me your nukes. Then once you have everything, you pull back the finances, you pull back the military aid, and you go, okay, you want to fight these people? Do it your damn self. Like, for real. For real. Seriously, maybe I need to run for president. Because I'm coming up with all these ideas. I mean, or maybe at least get on as a presidential advisor. I'll be the president. I'll be the president's secretary of common sense. And my whole job would just be to whop him upside the head every time he thinks he's doing something stupid. Like, I'm going to shove this pencil in my eyeball. No, bad idea. Sit down and eat some ice cream. Go play golf. Go blow up. Seriously, dude. That's not a bad idea. Go play golf take a break. Go play golf for a fucking few days. Get some sleep. Go play some golf. Fuck your wife. And blow off some fucking steam. Bust a nut and blow off some fucking steam, man. And seriously, because what do you think's going to happen if you keep pushing the American people? They're not going to support you. And I would say instead of going with what Nick Fuentes said, I would say let's amend that idea a little bit. Let's force the Republicans in office to start pushing back against Trump. Not like the Democrats have been doing, with bullshit things, but like legit checks and balances here, like it's supposed to be. Let's have some legit checks and balances here. Let's put Trump back in his place and remind him that this is a government by the people, for the people. And let's start getting some younger blood in there, some true Great Awakening people in the political spectrum. I mean, you've got young bucks like Nick Fuentes, who is a very smart young man. America is full of people like that. America is full of people like myself, Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, Candace Owens, Andrew Tate. America is full of smart people like this that need to get into the political arena. We need to start getting those people in. Okay? Let's not play this, let's go vote the Democrats back in because we're not getting what we want from the Republicans. Let's not play that game. We've played that game for decades. Oh, well, the Republicans didn't do a good job, so we're going to vote the Democrats in this time. Maybe they'll do a good job. Okay, the Democrats didn't do a good job, so now we're going to vote the Republicans back in. Maybe they'll do a good job this time. Okay, it's this back and forth bullshit. Okay? So Nick Fuentes is in the wrong about that. It's a bad idea. What we need to do is get some young blood in there who are very smart people who are very patriotic. We need those people running. We need to elect those people to Congress and the Senate. And we need to start pushing back and saying, no more bullshit. No more puppet politicians. Nobody indebted and controlled by the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and JP Morgan and Mossad and the Epstein bullshit. Okay? We need real Americans running this bitch and taking back control from the corrupt politicians and running those corrupt pieces of shit the fuck out. And this is what Trump needs to understand. The Great Awakening is already happening. Yeah, he's surrounded himself and kept the good people. He's pushed a lot of the good people out and kept a lot of the pieces of shit in. He's pushed Marjorie Taylor Greene and others out. Okay, Marjorie, honey, run for office again. Okay, we will vote for you. Okay, don't turn heel and fucking just walk away. Fight, honey, fight. We need more people like you. We need you. We need more people like you. Get back in the fight and push back. We need to not bow out of the fight. We need to double down, stay in, get back in, and get more people like Marjorie Taylor Greene in positions of power who are going to stand up to the bullshit, who are going to fight back, who's going to call balls and strikes, who's going to hold this administration's feet to the fire. We need Marjorie Taylor Greene and more people like her. We need younger blood, not seasoned rhinos and corrupt money laundering Democrats who diddle little kids in the Epstein files. Okay, we need young blood. We need true patriots. I don't care if they're Republican or Democrat. They need to be true American patriots. We need to reform both parties, I think. We need to reform both parties and make them America versus America only parties. Okay? And that's what needs to happen. We need true patriots in Congress, in the Senate, in the White House, in the FBI, in the DOJ, in the Pentagon. We need true patriots. We need that. And I swear to God, the amount of corruption is so fucking bad. It's insane. I mean, I just don't know why anybody would do this. Like, it's like they're trying to bring about the end of the world, almost. And a lot of people say it's demonic, and governments are saying it's demonic. And that it's a push towards bringing about the Antichrist. Like, seriously, if Trump is a Christian, who in their right mind would want to bring about the Antichrist? It's like this mentality of, okay, it's God's will. It's going to happen regardless. I'm just going to go with the flow. Okay, well, are you going to have that mentality when it comes time to take the mark of the beast? It's like, oh, well, this was all part of God's plan. I'm just going to go with it. Give me the mark in my hand or forehead. No. You got to rail against this. You got to rail against evil. Okay, that's what God made you to do. Okay, just because it's prophesied doesn't mean that you don't fight back. Okay? Yeah, it's the end of the day. There's going to be a war. Doesn't mean you don't fight. Okay? If anything, it means you fight. That's the time to fight back. You must rail against evil. That is the greatest call to being a Christian and a follower of Jesus Christ, is to stand against the devil, rebuke him, and stand against everything he stands for and everything he does. Okay, that is your calling, to denounce the evils of this world, to bring people back to God, to fight for the souls of this world and fight for humanity. That is what you and me and Christendom is here to do. So no, you don't just go, okay, well, it's biblical prophecy that Satan's going to try to fuck me in the ass. Okay, you don't fucking bend over and hand him the lube. Come on. You don't do this. And so I don't understand why Trump sits there and thinks that, oh, I'm a Christian, but I'm going to fund Israel and give them money to fight wars and to build the third temple so that the Antichrist can take power. Okay, no temple equals no Antichrist, okay? So why are you doing this? Why did that guy in Texas, who I believe is a Christian, why did he sell them the red heifers, knowing it was for a sacrifice for the rebuilding of the third temple and would eventually lead to which would lead to the Antichrist system? Why would you do this? Why would you do this? I do not understand. Say, oh, we're going to support Israel. Yeah, you got fucking played. Seriously, y'all got fucking played on that shit. Read the Apocrypha. Go get yourself a copy of the Ethiopian Bible. Hell, what is it, the Geneva Bible? Get a copy of the Geneva Bible if you can't get the Ethiopian. I'm sure those are fairly cheap. Okay, read something other than the standard KJV or the New American Standards or New English Standards or any of that. Okay? Anything derived from King James, set that aside and go get yourself the Ethiopian Bible or a copy of the Geneva Bible and the Apocrypha. Seriously. And wake up to what the scriptures really teach and not what King James and pagan Romans fucking told you to think. Hell, read the Babylonian Talmud. Okay, their big thing is they prioritize the Talmud over the Torah and the Tanakh. They say they cling to the Torah, which is the book of the law, the first 5 books of the Old Testament, and that they follow the Tanakh, which is the complete Old Testament. But yet they have the Tanakh, or not the Tanakh, the Talmud, which they prioritize above everything else. Read that thing. Why are you supporting people who have those ideologies? Okay? That book, the Babylonian Talmud, says that if you have sex with a little girl under the age of 3, her hymen will grow back. They say that Jesus is in hell burning in excrement. That anybody who opposes the Jews, and Jesus opposed the Jews, will be in hell burning in human excrement. They're saying the Savior is burning in hell, burning in human excrement because he opposed the Pharisees, who we know were corrupt. Okay? You want to quote the Bible? Okay, how about the passage in Revelations that says, woe unto those who profess to be Jews but are not. Okay, you want to talk about the real Jews. Okay? They're not these white Europeans that are in power. No. Look for the real Jews and support the real Jews. Not these white Europeans that won't even take a fucking DNA test to prove that they are part of the 12 tribes of Israel, that their bloodline descends from that. Come on, give me a fucking break. But if you want to take the mark, fine. I guess, bend over, hand Satan the lube, and enjoy that. Okay, me, I'm not. I'm not. They're gonna have to shoot me. They're gonna have to shoot me. They're already talking about. Jones was talking about it with Nick Fuentes yesterday. That the Republican Party, instead of actually doing anything with the Epstein files and the Somali fraud and all of that shit, you want to know what the DOJ's doing on behalf of Trump? You really want to know what they're doing? They're spying on you and me. They're spying on Jones, Tucker Carlson, all these detractors who are holding Trump's feet to the fire. They're investigating them. They're trying to find dirt on them. And it's going to come to a point, so much so that many of us are in this community are of the mind that it's going to come to a point where we're just going to have to disappear. We're going to have to leave the fucking country. Because they're going to fucking do like they did to Alex Jones and fucking make up some bullshit when they can't find anything. So, yeah, I mean, at some point, I'm going to have to maybe become a traveling fucking preacher, just fucking popping on anytime I can connect to a Wi-Fi hotspot. It's like, this is TINMAN with the Resistance on location at some McDonald's in the Philippines. Like, seriously. It's gonna be that point. Either that or we'll wind up in jail and they're going to try to force me to take the mark. I'm being like, no, you're going to have to fucking kill me because I'm not doing it. Okay, and I'll have somebody fucking smuggle a phone in up their ass and fucking I'll start streaming from that. Make no mistake, I'll keep going somehow, some way. Okay? Until I'm dead, I won't shut up. And they've already tried to hurt me numerous times. And at which point, I would say, there's a lot of people on that list, many Americans who are probably going to be facing this, especially people who are speaking out like myself and Alex Jones. Like Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, and all these guys, they got pretty solid networks and whatnot. But us, we're just getting back into the game. We started this back in 2010, and we had a pretty good run until everything got shut down because of everything that was happening with internet censorship. But we found a hole, we found a crack in the armor, and we managed to get back on, and are running strong. And we're trying to rebuild our network. And it's not about getting paid. It's not about becoming rich or anything like that. I don't give a fuck about that. I have a day job. I'll continue to do my day job. But I want to grow and expand the operation, and I want to give myself and those who work with me a fail-safe that if we do face unjust prosecution, we can hire good attorneys to push back. So if you like these podcasts and you want to see us keep going, please, by all means, go to the online store. This link is in the description of this video. We've got tons of great merch, hats, t-shirts, bumper stickers, you name it. If you've got an idea of a product that you'd like to see, leave it in the comment section. Let us know. But again, check out the online store. The prices are super low. The designs are amazing. The product quality is top notch. I go above and beyond to produce the best content that I can, both on and off camera. And any way I can improve it, I will. So please support the podcast, support the broadcast, support our fight for freedom. Check out the online store. And even if that's not your forte, it costs nothing to support us by following us and sharing the live feeds. Share the live feeds. Follow us on X, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook. We were demonetized years ago. The Facebook account still exists, and everything reposts to the not Facebook, YouTube account. Those accounts still exist, but YouTube has demonetized us because we don't have 10,000 subscribers. We have roughly about 5,000 right now on YouTube. 5,000 followers on YouTube. But if we can reach 10,000, monetization kicks back on. Okay? Same with X. If we can reach X, our account is verified, If we can reach X number of verified followers, monetization turns on. And it's not about putting money in my pocket or Revan's pocket. It's about funding the broadcast, expanding and growing and producing the best content and doing whatever we can to fight back. Okay? So support the broadcast. Follow us on our various social medias. Help us grow our audience. Share the live feeds. Check out the online store. I understand money's tight in these hard economic times. I get it. But if you can, check out the online store. And if nothing else, again, it costs nothing to hit the follow button and to share a link. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and put the turkey in the oven, ladies and gentlemen. I guess. Share the live feeds. Keep the conversation going. We'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. We've got quite a few people who've actually tuned in today, but the comments have been absolutely quiet. I want to hear more from my audience. I want to hear more from you guys. I want to hear your thoughts, your opinions, your whatever information you have. Because this is as much about you as it is about me. In fact, it's more so about you than it is about me or any of the hosts that we have on the show. The Worldwide Resistance Network is of the people, by the people, for the people. Not just in the Americas, but all over the world. We've got Connor in Canada. We've got Revan in California. We've got Louise Megan in Scotland. We've got people all around the planet who are fighting for freedom and to be heard. So don't leave us hanging. Become a part of the fight. Share your thoughts and opinions. Again, this is one of the only political podcasts, if not the political if not the only political podcast that includes you in the conversation throughout the entire show. Much as I love Jones or any of these other people, they don't include you in the conversation. They have hotlines where you can call in, which is great. But we, the Worldwide Resistance Network, we make you a part of the conversation throughout the entire show, each and every show. So join in the conversations. It costs nothing to share your opinions. It costs nothing to share the links. It costs nothing to hit the like and subscribe buttons on our various social medias. With that being said, I am the Tin Man, Chris Shelton, with the Worldwide Resistance Network, and this has been Tin Man TV. Until next time, stay strong, stay safe, and God bless you. And if you are watching this, you are the resistance.